couple of seconds to go for market open and is looking much better than what the GIFT Nifty at 8 o'clock indicated. I think the pre-open is absolutely flat. The Nifty is up about 5-6 points or so. We'll see. I mean, I think maybe one round of some pressure coming through, and that would be natural and to be expected, and then we'll pick up from there. So the start is, I saw some green and almost immediately down 0.15, 0.2% lower, 24,420, 430. Nifty Bank is starting about 0.1% lower, 52,245. You've got the Sensex up down 0.25%. Mid-cap index is up 0.25% at this point in time. 20 stocks are higher, 30 stocks are lower. That's a Nifty heat map which is coming through. So yes, there is about a 50-60 odd point pressure. That's about 0.25% on the Nifty to begin with. Let's get to individual movers. Surabhi.
I was actually looking at CG Power, the stock that Kamakshi was just talking about on that Nomura view. It's open positive, 2.5% up. But anyway, for the broader market, the color indeed is red, 50 points down. So not a big cut, but yes, there's pressure. Hindalco, straight away, like Nigel told us, the commentary from Novelis and this downward revision in the guidance, that is, I think, not being taken too well by the street. Adani Enterprises, BPCL, SBI Life, HDFC Life, these are the early movers on the way down. Let's watch for the big boys, the heavyweights. Reliance, ICICI Bank, these are stocks that have opened negative. Let's see how they do. L&T is also lower. So the trio is putting a fair amount of pressure on the indexes, at least as we start off. A lot of consumer names continue to drag. Tata Consumer, Nestle, Trent ahead of numbers today, all on the way down. Asian Paints is also lower. So consumers pretty weak. Hindalco has a company-specific issue going on. And then you have some of the big boys dragging their feet. On the upside, however, you will hear from this company very soon on the show. Apollo Hospitals, splendid quarter, good numbers, and 6%. That stock's roaring away. Tata Steel, again, Nigel got it bang on because he was telling us that the operational performance of the company is really good, especially the India business. The EBITDA per ton is above estimates, and the market's saluting that, 1.5% up on that stock. And then some of the tech plays continuing from yesterday. Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, TCS, Wipro. So some of the tech trends are intact, and that's preventing a wider fall on the Nifty. But let's see, it's a nice tussle between the bulls and the bears on the large cap screen.
Well, that's right. The biggest losers, Hindalco, not so much because of the past quarter's numbers, because now they're not sounding very, very optimistic on the guidance from here on, and that's why they pulled it back. So that's why that stock is getting slammed down closer around 6%. There are a couple of names that are doing very, very well. Avalon Tech, pull up that stock, flying away in today's trading session. Good set of numbers is what we saw. The operating profit was much better than what the street was working with. And that explains why that stock is now up closer to around 15% as we speak. The one that's taking the hard knock is Adani Energy. That's because of the MSCI announcement that came overnight. Adani Energy did not make the cut. The reason that was cited by MSCI is that, in fact, low confidence about the stock's free float. So that's why that's pulled back closer around 7%. CG Power, Vamakshi just told us about. You have Nomura note. Well, the stock is clearly enthused by that. JK Lakshmi Cement is down closer around 1.5%. The stock has already corrected 20%, but those numbers were quite weak. Esther Industries, a stock that we don't talk about very often. That one has got very high volumes, and it's up close to around 8-9%. So I don't know what's gone on there. So keep an eye out on that one. On the flip side, you have Jyoti Structures, the stock that was, I think, 10 rupees maybe 18-20 months ago. It moved all the way to around 40 rupees, but there is margin compression in the numbers, and they ain't impressive. The top line growth is there, but profitability is not coming about. So that stock's down close to around 5%. Delta Corp as well, one of the top volume buzzers on the downside in today's trading session. So the start is in the red, but I think the broader market's holding up. That's something that the bulls will latch on to.
Absolutely, and I think how you feel about the portfolio depends on the broader market more than just what's happening with large caps. So I think that's a point well worth making. We'll have I just want to take a quick look at a few other names, and we'll bring in our market master of today. So you've got KRN, I think heat exchangers, a 7% pop there, 580. I don't usually see that name at the top of the volume board, but today 1 million shares already traded. It's the third largest volume mover on the market. I think you mentioned Avalon, Nigel, 15%. Avalon has got humongous volumes, 680 on Avalon. That's an EMS play, 17% now. So that's going one way. I mean, actually, yesterday the EMS plays all did very well. So Dixon, there was Sirma, Keynes, they all were up between 10 and 15%. And we should, and Avalon was not, maybe there's just sort of a catch up, but Dixon, Sirma, and Keynes, big moves yesterday. and they're starting kind of flattish. But this one is the clear large mover. What else? Endurance is up about 4%, 24.75 on Endurance. There is NetWeb, which is up about 2.25% at this point. Of course, I mean, the biggest volume-led gainer remains Apollo Hospitals with a 5.5% pop. So that's looking very, very good. You'll hear from the management a little later. Vari, which hit 1 lakh crores on market cap briefly day before yesterday and firmly yesterday, it's down 5%. So 34.52 on Vari, and that is the number one volume traded loser at this point. Number two is Hindalco with that 5% cut. And I think, as Nigel mentioned, 8% on Adani Energy. Lots of expectations that MSCI inclusion for now is not come. So keep an eye. Nalco is down 1/3%, but it's done so well recently. Premier Energy, big move yesterday. It's down about 3.5% at this stage. There is Afcon's recent listing, 3% cut. It's got volumes behind it. Delta Corp is down 2%, and so on and so forth. So, that's the market open. Broader market breadth is 2:1 in favor of advances for now. We've